Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Black Adam movie, Sabbak MegaFig. Now before we get into it here, let's first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, Sabbak does come with a collectible trading card featuring a portrait of the character. I can't confirm or deny that this is or isn't artwork or a photograph, so we're just going to call it a portrait because I know that's what it is. And there's a bio on the back that you can pause and read at your own leisure, because chances are, if you're like myself, you have no idea who the Sam heck this is, other than a big scary looking demon guy and the most satanic figure released in this year 2022. That's right, good old Sabbak is by far the most terrifying, the most demonic, the most evil action figure I've taken a look at on this channel all year. Had he come out last year, that might have been different because we did have the big bad Arethyr and Belphegor from Mythic Legions line as a part of the Super Satanic Action Figure League of the Year. On top of that, though, he does come with a hockey puck display stand that we're used to seeing in this line. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this bad boy. Because the Black Adam movie just hit, and this guy's not heavily featured in the trailer, but dang it, he looks super cool. He's got the red skin, he's got the pentagram etched on his chest, much like the son of Satan, Damian Hellstrom from Marvel, a lone tier for a figure that will not be released. Thank you, HasLab. He also has some skulls on his back here that form a spinal cord, and all kinds of chains and tunic bits and cloth elements that hang off his body in various places. Really cool looking figure. He's got the cool horns as well that go back like this. Personally, and this is just a character design thing, I would have liked them spread out a little bit more, but this is accurate. We'll give him that. That said, it seems like his head might be sitting a little bit high on the neck. Just a little bit. As if I shift it down like this, that looks proportionate, but a little bit better. That said, it's okay. It's not that big a deal. So, as far as articulation on this figure is concerned, he can look up and down really well because of the double ball peg there. He can tilt side to side really well. He can rotate side to side as well. Careful with these horns, they are hard plastic and pretty sharp. His shoulders can go out that far, they can go back down, they do rotate. He has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which is pretty chonky, not gonna lie. That said, this is a gummier McFarlane figure, but not in a bad way. It's actually okay. It's not terrible. Not a whole lot of gumminess in the limbs and stuff. Not like Marvel Legends, I assure you. But something to note. He does have a hinge swivel wrist. Actually, they're ball hinges, so you get two axes there. They are the sculpted ball pegs, though, so you really can only have them one way. That's kind of downfall with these sculpted ball hinges, is you can't really use them because the sculpt gets broken up quite a bit. So, you know, it looks good in neutral, but that's about it. Same thing with the ankles. That said, he can crunch forward a little bit, can crunch back a little bit, can rotate up here, as well as tilts side to side. The waist is pretty much locked. Can't really rotate it. You could probably rotate it a little bit if you were to heat this up and soften the belt, but as it stands, you're not going to get much out of that. That said, he does have all kinds of runes on his limbs here, on his chest and legs, so lots of cool little hidden details. You kind of find more stuff to look at on this guy the more you mess around with him, much like any super cool character design such as this. That said, the hips can kick out pretty far. Not bad for a big guy. He can almost do the splits, at least on that side. I will say they are a little tighter all the way out here as opposed to down here, but it is what it is. He does have a thigh cut, I thought. Yeah, he's got a little thigh quiver in there, but it moves in more than out, so kind of restricted there. He does have forward and back in the hip. He's got a double knee, which, like the elbow, kind of chunky. Not a fan of that, but it is what it is. Does also have a swivel at the foot with a hinge, and as you can see, the sculpted ball hinge, while it looks good in neutral, when in use it looks atrocious. So I don't know, I kind of prefer the big balls. Big balls! As the old AC/DC Bon Scott used to say. He also has the rocker here and super loose floppy toe joints. Not a fan of that either. But he does have peg holes at the bottom of the feet for the display stand, which you might need because those toe joints are so loose. But it is what it is, man. That said, this is still the most satanic figure released all year. I should be getting that Hell Witch from the Executive Replicas / Loose Collector Coffin Comics line soon. But she's not a big devil guy with a pentagram on her chest. And just freaking, this thing, this character design, I'm surprised some soccer mom piece of crap hasn't complained about this figure existing yet. Because it is really pushing the envelope of what they're able to sell in the store. Like, they're able to sell this, but Hasbro can't sell Mephisto? I kind of got to call bullcrap on that, man. But again, this is McFarlane. McFarlane's got more balls than most toy companies. I'd say between him and NECA, they got all the balls in the toy aisle. They're willing to put out some pretty gnarly stuff. Stuff that not all the other toy companies are willing to put out there. And that's probably why this guy is available at Target and Walmart. Or at least he was. In fact, I actually don't recall seeing this guy at all in the store. I just see the giant Atom Smasher. That said, another figure to talk about, since we're on the concept of Hasbro and how small their testicles are, they did put out Surtur last year, so I guess you gotta give him props for that, particularly Dwight Stahl, because he's the guy behind that. Whether you like him as a person or not, he at least got that cool looking Surtur out, and that was one of my favorite figures from last year, despite the fact he didn't make it on any of my lists. So with that being said, that about wraps it up for Sabbak here, so let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is Sabbak next to the only other figures I've already taken a look at from the Black Adam movie line from the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys. Of course, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Black Adam himself, as well as Dr. Fate. Now, I'm not 100% sure what role Sabbak plays in the Black Adam movie since I haven't seen it yet, but I just hope it's not just a really cool character design we only see for a few minutes. I've been duped plenty of times by other movies who do crap like that. I don't need DC Comics doing it too. Just give me a cool scene with this guy fighting either Black Adam or Dr. Fate, particularly Dr. Fate since he is one of my faves, and I'll be happy. Next up, here he is alongside the two most recent Mega figures I've taken a look at from the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line. We have Necron, the Lord of the Unliving, who I took a look at a couple of weeks ago now. Check that out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. As well as Bane, which, do I need to say anything else about that figure? He pretty much speaks for himself. We all know him, we all love him. That said, I do find it funny that McFarlane Toys gave us both the Grim Reaper and the Devil in less than a year's time, and yet since Hasbro's brought back the Marvel Legends line in 2012, we still haven't managed to get a Mephisto out of them. What's up with that? And last, but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, Eleven Spawn, who's not towering over everyone today, because if you're familiar with the story of good old Al Simmons, most of the demons he fights dwarfs him anyways. So with that being said, time to wrap things up, some final thoughts. overall, and while I have to be completely honest with you guys in saying that I don't know a whole heck of a lot about good old Sabbak here, I kind of think that works towards his benefit, because while he may be based on a DC Comics character, and based on what I've heard, he's actually quite comic book accurate as far as a movie design for a comic book character is concerned, I think this guy's character design is generic enough that it lends itself to being fudged into many different types of displays. You can fit him in your Mythic Legions display, you can fit him in your Marvel Legends display, you can fit him in your DC Multiverse display like he was originally intended, you can fit him in your butthole if you're kinky like that, or you can fit him just about anywhere because he is just a big, scary looking devil guy. And I think that lends itself to being fudged into many different places. Again, your butthole if you're kinky. That said, I'm going to give this guy some bonus points for looking like something off an Onslaught or Venom album cover, because we rock with the heavy metal around here. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. And sadly, all good things must come to an end, and this review right here marks the end of the Overlord Productions Halloween Spooktacular 2022. We had a good run, reviewed quite a lot of spooktacular action figures this past October, but since tomorrow is November 1st, the Halloween Spooktacular has officially come to an end. Or has it? I guess you'll just have to stay tuned and find out. But if you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when I really hope this guy's not in the movie for just 5 minutes. I've been duped too many times, DC. Don't dupe me like that. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.